Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Christy Stewart.
Well, we are going to be seeing this system impacting us as we head throughout this weekend. So we're looking at having that snow beginning for us as we get into the midday hours today. Then we're going to be seeing the heaviest snow as we get into the night tonight. Really tapers off as we get into your Sunday morning. Our wind is going to be getting pretty strong out there. We're looking at having those wind gusts as high as 50, 55 miles per hour. Could be seeing some of those gusts localized up to even 60 miles per hour. That is where we could be seeing potentially blizzard conditions, because we're going to be seeing that heavier snow as we get into the night tonight, and we're looking at having those very strong winds as we're in the middle of the night tonight. That's when it looks to be the strongest. Now, those strong winds could potentially be leading to some power outages as well as knocking down some trees. So keep that in mind as we're heading throughout the next 24 or so hours here. Then we're looking at having tidal flooding because of those very strong northeasterly winds, and we've got a full moon. That's going to be setting up the perfect ingredients for us to also be dealing with some moderate to major tidal flooding, and some of that tidal flooding could potentially be freezing as we're going to be staying extremely cold. The freezing point of ocean water is 28 degrees. Brackish water, not entirely sure. My guess would be somewhere between 32 and 28 degrees. We'll say 30 degrees. We're going to be having our high temperatures colder than that as we head throughout the next couple of days. So definitely could be seeing some of those lower shallow flooding areas being frozen over. So that could cause some slick spots, causing some other concern. No surprise, we are all underneath a winter storm warning in effect for us, and that continues into tomorrow. We could be potentially seeing some whiteout conditions with that blowing snow around, making travel very dangerous. We're also dealing with some dangerous cold. Right now we have a cold weather advisory, but we're going to be seeing that transitioning after 1 a.m. into an extreme cold weather alert. So that is where we're looking at having those wind chills below zero. So if you don't have to be outside, I recommend staying inside. Now, I know if it snows, you want to go outside and play. Just make sure that you're bundled up, limiting that time outdoors, taking some breaks to warm up indoors, and covering all of that exposed skin as we are going to be, again, dangerously cold throughout the next 24 or so hours. We are looking at having our temperatures right now upper teens to those lower 20s. We do have those stronger northerly winds, about 10 to 20 miles per hour, especially along the coast. Currently seeing those gusts around 25 miles per hour down towards northeastern North Carolina and along the Virginia Beach coastline. As we head throughout the later parts of today, getting into this afternoon, you'll notice those winds really picking up. So we'll see more of those northerly winds that'll be gusting down towards the Outer Banks up to 40, 50 miles per hour. Along our Virginia coastline, we're looking at those gusts up to around 30 miles per hour. That eventually ramps up as we get into this evening to about 35 miles per hour around our Virginia coastline, still staying with those 50 mile per hour winds along the Outer Banks. And then as we get into the middle of the night tonight, that's when those 50 mile per hour gusts make their way up through the Virginia coastline as that area of low pressure that's traveling along the coast continues to head to the north. So I would say in the middle of the night tonight is going to be our windiest point. You'll hear that wind howling out there, knocking against those windows as we are going to be seeing again those gusts around 50, 55 miles per hour. Could see even isolated higher gusts than that. And that persists for us as we're heading into your Sunday morning. So with that, we're going to be feeling even colder as we get into, well, right now, we'll back up here for a second. Our wind chills are sitting about 10 degrees. As we get into later on tonight, we'll be seeing those single digits. As we head into your Sunday morning, we're looking at those feels like temperatures, those wind chills below zero. So make sure that you really are bundling up if you have to be outdoors. Again, that's when we get to be very windy out there, is in the middle of the night tonight, continuing into Sunday morning. So that also leads to the concern of tidal flooding. We are looking at having that moderate tidal flooding level is where we're going to be reaching Sunday at about 8 a.m. for us. Could be seeing major tidal flooding. That's mainly for Lynn Haven Inlet and Duck is where we're looking at seeing those major tidal flooding concerns. All right, so let's talk about that snow. So currently here we see that snow working its way up to the north. It's across North Carolina. It's going to be continuing to work its way more north as we're heading throughout the day today. But the battle that it's going to be having is dry air. So we've got dry air that's trying to work its way in from the north as well. And that could cut off that moisture and could limit our snow potential as we're heading into later on today. Depending on how quickly that dry air is able to move in. So we'll take a look at our future track here. Looks like that snow continues to move north throughout this morning, eventually reaching up towards south side as we get into this afternoon. We'll see some of that heavier snow moving into northeastern North Carolina towards this evening and continuing to move up to the north, reaching into some of our Virginia communities, mainly south side, as we get into later on tonight. We'll see as we get towards the middle of the night tonight, some of that snow cutting off, seeing that drier air working its way in. Eventually, it looks like we should be decently dry as we get towards sunrise on Sunday. After that, we'll see a lot of these clouds clearing out, able to see a lot of sunshine out there. So what are we looking at for those snowfall totals? Looks like the most is going to be down across our southern communities, and then we'll have a sharp cutoff. So it's going to be really hard to tell you exactly what you're looking at for that snowfall total. But across northeastern North Carolina, 6 to 10 inches, south side ranging anywhere from really 1 to 6 inches. Across the peninsula is not looking at having as much, a dusting up to maybe a couple of inches. As we look down, we could be seeing maybe a few inches at most in some of our peninsula locations. If we see that dry air moving in quickly, this is what we could be looking at. So really seeing that cutoff moving down south, not seeing as much, just seeing more so of a dusting. So there is that potential, but I think that we will be able to see some accumulating snowfall. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. Again, it's a sharp gradient that we will be dealing with. All right, so as we head throughout the rest of the day today, high temperatures in those mid-20s. We will be starting to see a warm up as we head into the work week. We'll see those highs into the 40s towards the middle of the week. Could be seeing a rain-snow mix on Wednesday.